if I told you you can easily make over $86,000 selling AI print-on-demand products on Etsy? And what if I also told you that you can start this business with zero skills or experience whatsoever and with minimal investment upfront? This is the side hustle of the year, and in this video I'm going to guide you through the step-by-step process of creating profitable products from scratch. Now, as you guys probably already know by now, Etsy is one of the fastest growing e-commerce platforms of the year. With the rise of artificial intelligence last year, and particularly with the introduction of AI image generators like Midjourney, DALL-E, and most recently Leonardo AI, the print-on-demand market has been exploding like no other. This is because the designs that used to require you to spend countless hours of work can now be done in a matter of minutes and for free with the help of these AI tools. And the results are just incredible and getting even better every day. Print-on-demand products are just one of the markets that AI is revolutionizing, and the great thing about it is that within this market, you can create all kinds of different products, from t-shirts, cell phone cases, socks, handbags, mugs, and all kinds of everyday accessories. Now, each one of these subcategories can make you over $86,000 per shop, and the absolute best thing about this entire market is that this is an almost infinitely scalable business. You can start selling t-shirts and quickly move on to include other clothing products like baby clothing, aprons, socks, and even underwear. And the great thing about this is that you can use the exact same tools to create every single one of the products on each one of those categories. The process is exactly the same for all of them, which means that once you learn how to create one product, you basically know how to create hundreds. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. So let's quickly go over some of the products that different Etsy shops are selling at the moment, and let's review their estimated revenue to show you just how profitable this can be. So for this example, we're going to search for some men's t-shirts, and here we go. So this shirt, for example, sells for $20.69, and this shop in particular has a total of 19,959 sales. Now, considering that the profit margins for print-on-demand products is anywhere between 10 to 40%, let's say that this seller has, considering the price, a conservative 20% profit from this shop alone. That means that he or she has made over $82,000 from this single shop alone. So let's see another random example. So this one with a more musical vibe to it sells for $17.46, which means it's even cheaper than the previous one, and this seller has sold a total of 68,628 shirts like this one, which means that, again, calculating a conservative 20% profit, that gives us over $239,000 from this shop alone. So you see where this is going, right? I mean, let's just check out one final example. Okay, this one right next to it, which is actually pretty cool in my opinion, as you can see, from a totally different seller, and is selling for, let's say, $19, and having sold at least a whopping 104,243 shirts, that gives us an incredible $395,000 in profit from this single shop. Now, again, I told you guys that this is an infinitely scalable business, so just imagine the amount of money you could be making if you dedicate yourself and put in the time and effort to create some simple but cool designs like this one's. So now that we've established just how profitable the print-on-demand niche can be, we're going to select one specific category to start our shop. Now, you might think the first thing we need to do is set up the shop, but actually that's the second step in the process, because before we set up our shop, we need to know what we're selling. So for that, I would first focus on designing a few products to have at least 10 to 20 listings ready to publish as soon as our shop is set up. This is really important to kickstart the shop, because first impressions are critical when it comes to growing your business, and having a shop with just 1 or 2 listings doesn't really look serious. Instead, if your customers are welcomed with a nice catalog of products and options to choose from, it'll give them the impression that yours is a serious shop that means business. So let's move on to creating our first product so you can see just how easy this is. Now, there are 2 steps you need to follow to create a print-on-demand product. First, obviously, you need a design that is going to be printed on a canvas, which, as we said earlier, can be anything from a t-shirt to a mug. And then you need to find a print-on-demand provider that is going to set you up with the canvas and the actual service of printing the designs and mailing the finished product to the buyer. So just to be clear, your job comes down to just creating the designs, setting up the shop, and then linking the print-on-demand service with your Etsy shop. And once that is set up, you can start collecting your passive income. So now, the way print-on-demand works is your customers will get to choose the design they want from your Etsy shop. They will also be able to choose the size of the shirt and then create an order. Once the order is created, your Etsy shop will automatically submit that order to the print-on-demand provider, which will in turn print the shirt and the selected design and ship it directly to the customer. This means that there are no costs for you associated with inventory storage, no physical store to take care of, no rent to pay, no electricity, no nothing. So not only the manufacturing and distribution side of the business is completely automated by default, but now, thanks to AI, even the creation of the actual designs is also automated to a great great extent. So now that we know how the process works, let's jump into Midjourney to start sketching some designs. Now, as you probably already know by now, Midjourney is an AI image generator from Discord, and in my opinion is one of the best ones out there. The way Midjourney works is pretty simple. First, you'll need to set up a Discord account. Now, I would definitely recommend you guys to download the app to your computer, which is super convenient to have. Now, you can definitely use Midjourney for free to try it out and experiment with the prompts and the technology, but since we're going to be using the images we create for commercial purposes, we need to get one of the subscription plans available, which will allow us to later sell the images we create. Now, this is the Discord app. It's actually quite simple to use, and I'm going to show you how to optimize it to work most efficiently for our print-on-demand image generation. So as you can see on the left side hand of the app, you'll find the different servers you're in. Within Midjourney server, we will find all the active channels and threads at the moment. Now, the great thing about this is that if you jump into any one of these conversations, you can see what other users are creating, and it can sometimes be a great source of inspiration to see what images other people are imagining, the prompts they're using, and the results they're getting. So you can just jump into any one of these conversations and start creating your own images. But the problem with that is that your images are going to be created in a chat where dozens of other images are being created simultaneously, which means that your work can easily get lost in the crowd, and trying to find it can be time-consuming and frustrating, especially when you're experimenting a lot. So I'm going to show you how you can work far more efficiently by creating your own exclusive server. So go to the left side menu and click on Add a Server. Choose Create My Own and then select For Me and My Friends. Choose a name for your server. I'll name it Print on Demand and click Create. Okay, so now you have your own personal server. All that's left to do is add the Midjourney bot to the chat room so it can help us create the images. For that, go to the Midjourney server and click on the Midjourney bot, choose Add to Server and select yours. You're now set and ready to start creating your images. Now, for that, all you need to do is type /imagine and this prompt dialog box will pop up. Click on it and you're ready to type your actual prompt. And this is where things get creative. Now, because I'm an architect, for this first example, I'm going to be designing a shirt that I myself would like to wear. So I've been experimenting already with city skyline images on different styles and vibes, and now we're going to try to come up with a cartoonish New York City skyline in black and white. We're going to specify that this is a design that is going to go on a t-shirt and ask it to place it on a white background. So these are pretty cool in my opinion, so let me show you a few options that you're definitely going to be using. As you can see below the images, Midjourney displays 9 buttons, U1, 2, 3, and 4, and V1, 3, and 4. The U buttons mean upscale, so if you like any of those images, you can choose to upscale image 1, 2, 3, or 4 to a picture with a higher resolution. If instead you kind of like, let's say, picture number 3, you can have the AI redo 4 more variants of that picture. If you don't like any of the pictures, you can just click the reroll button and the AI will come up with 4 new images based on the exact same prompt. Now, this is a great thing about the AI. It will never generate the exact same 4 images even if you give it the exact same prompt. Now, once we created an image that we like, we can upscale it, and once it's done, we can open it on our browser and download it to our computer. So now that we've generated our image, we can move on to step number 2, which is creating the t-shirt itself on Printify. Now, obviously, you first need to set up your Printify account, which is super easy. So just click on the sign up button on the top right hand of the screen and sign in with your email. Because you're a new user, it'll ask you a few questions about yourself and your business, and you'll land on this page. Now here, you can choose to immediately connect your Etsy shop to Printify, but because we want to produce some designs first, we'll jump straight into designing our custom products. Okay, so this is the Printify main page, and here you can check out some of their bestseller products and some new arrivals. As you can see, there are all sorts of categories to choose from, and each category has a bunch of items you can print your designs on. So I would definitely spend some time exploring the website and the different items available. I definitely at some point will experiment with some of these because I think it can be really fun to try different products and formats and see what sells best. So for this particular example, we're going to go straight into men's clothing. And as you can see, there are a bunch of different articles in this category alone. We're going to choose to design a basic t-shirt in this case, and here it'll give you the option to choose different kinds of shirts. Each one has its own characteristics and features, and to the left side of the screen you can filter between those different features. You can choose the color of the shirt, the print area, front, back, all over. You can select print providers, sizes, print types, and many other options. Now, once you've chosen the type of shirt you want, Printify will present you with a list of providers that will take care of printing the shirt and mailing it to the buyer as the orders go through your Etsy shop. So here's where you want to spend a few moments choosing carefully, because as you can see, each one of these providers have different production and shipping costs, different production times, and different shirt sizes and colors available. So you want to choose a provider with reasonable prices and shipping times. So once you've selected your provider, you just click on Start Designing, and now you can actually start creating your t-shirt. So as you can see, the interface case is super straightforward. So what you see here is the shirt and the printable area marked with this dashed line. So this is the area where your design has to fit. Now to import your design, you just click on the right side of the screen where it says import my design from and choose my device in this case. You have many different import options as you can see, and at the bottom there's an important section where it basically tells you the print area size and the maximum resolution. So this is important because to prevent your image from becoming pixelated when you import it and enlarge it to take as much room as possible on your shirt, you want to make sure that your image is as close as possible to that maximum print size. So for that, we're just going to pause here for a second and open the image we generated with Midjourney in Photoshop and enlarge it to match the maximum size. So go to Photoshop, open the image, and if you go to the top menu where it says image and then click image size, you can change this to pixels and it'll show you just how big this one actually is. Now as you can see, this one is only a little over 25% of the maximum available size. So we want to enlarge our image to match that maximum size. So we just change the resolution here to 300 dpi and then adjust the width to 4000 pixels. We choose preserve details and click OK. So now we have a larger image which is going to look much sharper on our shirt. There's one final thing we need to do in Photoshop, and that is remove the background of the image. So for that, we're going to go to the top menu again and choose select color range. Click on the background and adjust the fuzziness to, let's say, 30 and click OK. So now we just hit delete and the background color is gone. Now this is important because sometimes the background is not a perfect white, and when we place the image on the shirt, we want to make sure that there is not going to be a square outline around our design that is going to contrast with the pristine white of the shirt. So by eliminating the background, we don't have to worry about that. So that's it for Photoshop. We can now save our image as a PNG and go back to Printify. Now here we want to import our design from our device and just wait a few seconds until it loads, and here it is. Now as you can see, the size of our image fits perfectly within the available area, and from here we can flip it horizontally or vertically and have the image fill as much of the placeholder as possible. We can of course move our image around as well. I usually try to bring it as close to the neckline as possible because I think it looks better when the image is closer to the chest than to the belly. And finally, we can hit preview and see what our design actually looks like, and Printify will actually set you up with a couple of default mockups as well, so you can also see what your design will look like on a happy customer. So there you have it, guys. It's a super straightforward process as you can see, and I would even go as far as saying that it's actually a pretty fun process too. So creating designs like this can take you anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes or maybe even an hour of work. So imagine the amount of listings you can create in an entire day. I really hope this was helpful for you guys. Please comment down below if you would like to see further videos explaining the process or any particular aspect of the process in more detail. I respond to every comment myself because I truly appreciate the feedback from you guys. So thank you so much and see you next week.